Hey, I'm a disembodied voice. I have some kind of camera issue, so I'm gonna try to figure this out. But hey, what's up, everybody? This is the Crypto Harlem live stream. I swear there's a human being here. Maybe I can like blink it a couple times, but yeah, now it's the Crypto Harlem podcast. October 28th, 2023. It's almost November. It's almost only 1 month left, and it's all over. So much going on. So yeah, I'm gonna try to get this going because that's annoying. It's annoying not being here. You know. Uh, so I'm gonna try to see if I can I don't know make it happen. Um, like I was doing this whole multi-camera setup. I was living the dream. Now look at me. Now I got no cam. Oh, look at me, a disembodied avatar head. Hi everyone, it's me, the disembodied avatar head. Nope, don't want that. So let's see. Oh, no, that doesn't. Tried to go to the GoPro. It said no. All right, listen. I think that the best way for me to solve this is for me to go on a very professional 1 minute break. So please just go ahead, grab yourself a snack from your refrigerator. If you have to use the restroom, don't stress. You can do that. If you're looking at an annoying ad, I know how those can be. It'll end soon. And I'll be right back. Hopefully, with a camera. Stop. Why is that showing? All right, and I still need a second. So let me try to entertain you with some humor. Okay, here's Stephen, always good with the cybersecurity jokes. You've probably seen it before, but it never ceases to be funny to me. Be right back.
Hey, do you want to make a difference fighting bad guys and making six figures? Well, do we have the job for you? You don't have to be Iron Man. You can work in cybersecurity. Hell yeah. The US government estimates a labor shortage of about 400,000 people over the next few years in this industry. Here are the 3 simple things that you need to fill these jobs. 1, you need to have 10 years of related job experience. 2, you need to have multiple accredited certifications. And 3, most importantly, you gotta be a rock star. Does this sound like you?
No, that doesn't sound like me at all.
Awesome. Come on down and apply at entrylevelcybersecurityjobs.com. We're waiting.
It's time to sell drugs.
Whew. Wow, that was a wild one. All right, hey, what's up? This is Gemini Matt. Thanks for watching the Crypto Harlem live stream, and we are going to be doing some hacking right now. So, as you know, we've been looking at the book by Micah F Lee, Hacks, Leaks, and Revelations. The book's available on No Starch Press, and kind of basically walk you through everything you need to know to become a hacktivist, which is just a person who uses their keyboard to do activism. That's all it is. You know, like anyone who uses their digital skills and knowledge to do any acts of brave activism is a hacktivist. Some people write letters with pen and paper. Some people vote. Some people march. Some people have signs. Some people do this. Some people do that. But you will have the power of a million people because you have a computer keyboard. But you need to know how to do it. And there's two sides to it. There's those who somehow are affiliated with, being part of creating data sets, right? You might be working in the public records division of an agency, and there's a request for freedom of information. And then you answer that request. Well, you are creating a data set, or you may be one of those people who, shows up and they're like, give me the data, you know what I'm saying? Hands up. And, or someone who sneaks in and pulls out the data set. Well, you are forcing a leak. You're forcing a data set. But someone still needs to know how to handle that data set. Someone still needs to know how to go through that data set. And so there's two sides to it. Now, that second side is honestly what this book is about. And it's learnable, it's teachable, and it's what we're doing right now. You don't need any technical experience. And we're going to walk through part 2 of Micah's book, Hacks, Leaks, and Revelations. So just going to share, let me just put on some mood music. You know what I'm saying? Make it extra learning up in here, you know? Yeah, we don't create this here, so let me put something on. We're gonna learn, put on some learning music. Learn feels so good. Hit it, DJ. Looks smooth. Okay. If you see something leak, something is right. Dancer burritos. I love that. Yo, I think that needs to go on a bumper sticker. Then it might be the new hotness. That might end up on a shirt. Dancer burritos. Yo, Dancer burritos. You got to send a whisper over on Twitch to Crypto Harlem with your shirt size, so we can get you to see something leak something. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what's up. All right. So just pull it up on this no starchy starch. So there's a Halloween deal. You get 31% off everything if you use the code SCREAM31 on No Starch Press, and it ends on October 31st. So definitely check it out. SCREAM31 is the code. And let me just show you the No Starch Basic. Take a look at this book. You know what we're talking about. Check that out. Ooh, what's this? I can upload slides and I can share slides. That's pretty cool without having to share my screen. I like that. Man, they're always doing new things. What I wish they would do is let me know when an ad is about to roll up on my Twitch. That'd be great. Yo, Streamlabs crew, can you figure that out for me? All right, so here we go. Are y'all ready to descend into the hacks and release? Because we're gonna be doing, okay. I see a toothbrush ad. So, just because I joined at this particular time, maybe was I shopping for a toothbrush? Like, pretty good at privacy settings, so I don't know why, but I'm seeing it. But let me just say props to Vimix Just want to say props to you. Thanks for watching. You know what I'm saying? Chasing Panther, appreciate you being out there. So thank you, Chasing Panther. Grab Snap, Gentle Burritos, appreciate you so much. Alicidra. Zero One Ella and 00 Rihanna. Appreciate you too. Out moderating in the security booth. The Elixir. Drag them out if they don't act right. Appreciate you. And of course, I'm Gemini Man. So yeah, what's that? Oh, EFF members get a no starch discount year round. That's pretty cool. I mean, 31% is a really good discount on this book. So if you were thinking about following along with us and you don't like looking at my screen because I got a leaked copy of the book, that's your chance right there. You know, like go ahead and use that Scream 31 or use your EFF member discount. You know, you can support EFF. They're cool. They gave me an award, the Pioneer Award. You know what I'm saying? And props to them. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. So yeah, rep EFF. You know, they rep your boy. That's the Electronic Frontier Foundation. So you can get that. Okay. So anyway, this is the book. I'll put a link to the book in the chat. So you know, you can get the book here. Okay. And we're gonna jump into part 2. Okay. Let's just go part 2, which is like, I should just use this thing, it's much faster. We were beginning command line, and then I just was like, yo, we're just gonna jump to part 2, and I just ran through and act like command line's not a thing. So, you know, maybe like, you know, that's like an important thing for us to jump into. So part 2 starts off with the command line interface, the CLI, and let me just take you there, okay? We did kind of like basically quickly act like we were talking about it. Tools of the trade. Boom, part 2, what you're gonna do, zoom it in a little bit. Zoom it in some more. Yeah. So here we go. Part 2 is called Tools of the Trade, and it looks like this. And the first section in part 2 is the CLI, which stands for the command line interface. And we were going, you know, the last thing we did for Windows users was we showed you how to install Ubuntu on Windows. And it's actually, you can just do it in PowerShell by typing a few simple commands. You don't have to worry about downloading a virtual box. You don't have to download Kali Linux or Ubuntu on the USB. You can just get it running built right into Windows. And so if you missed that, check it out. It's on the end of last episode, okay? And I'm just gonna go to where we left off. Okay. Again, we talked about how important it is to have a shell. We talked about what the path to things look like. So again, if you're on Windows, the path looks a different way because the slashes go the opposite way. If you're on Linux or Mac OS, the slashes go this way. And on Windows, the slashes go that way. It's like a Soldier Boy dance, you know? So, you thought that was funny? I thought that was funny. Look at that. Who would have thought? Soldier Boy was just trying to teach us about the difference between PC paths and Mac OS and Linux paths. Okay? All that time. So again, we did exercise 31, which was installing Ubuntu for Windows, and we're not going to go through it again. But if you're wondering how, there's something called a Windows subsystem for Linux, or WSL, and you can read about that on your own time. So if you're a Windows person and it's your first time joining us, thank you for joining. Which reminds me, if you don't already follow, hit follow. If you don't already, follow us, following is free on Twitch, and we also are on Twitter or X or whatever you want to call it. We're on YouTube. We're on all these different things, Facebook or whatever. So yeah, just follow. You'll be good to go. And you can do it that way. Ooh. We just get out. I got some spaghetti cable here. Tangled setup. Oh yeah, got a power cable. Get that going. Don't want to lose the juice when I'm working with you. So yeah, just learn about it. There it is. It's in the chat, and I'll put it up on the screen. So again, the Windows subsystem for Linux. If you're a Windows user and you want to be able to follow us in our terminal or our shell, that's what you'll need. And it does take some time because it needs to download it and get it working. But we went over it last week, so just pull up that video. We have the archives of our videos are on Twitch for about a week or two, and they live forever on YouTube. So just take a look for that. It's in the live section up on our YouTube. Okay. And how do I get to the YouTube? In case you're wondering, you can type Crypto Harlem, or you can go to cryptoharlem.com, and then on the bottom of the website, we have all the different social links, and you can see us that way. All right, moving forward. Let's take this to the next section. Just practicing doing this before. So, opening a terminal, okay? For Windows people, you will open up the Ubuntu app by clicking Start, and then type Ubuntu, right? Just type UBUNTU, okay? Or you can click on the word Ubuntu, right? And that'll get you going. You'll be in it, You can pin the Ubuntu app or Windows Terminal app to your taskbar so you can easily get here. Now, for Mac people, I know you were feeling a little sad. You thought, like, why is the person talking about Windows all day? I'm a Mac person, I know. Don't worry, we didn't forget you, So if you're a Mac person, all you gotta do is open up this app called Terminal. So go into your applications by going to Finder, that little blue two people's faces thing on your Mac. Go to Finder if you're on a Mac and click on Applications, and then click on Terminal. Terminal looks like a black box, and you can go that way. So again, you just click on the double faces, which is the Finder app. From there, you go to Applications, and then from there, you'll find Terminal. Let me just zoom this in a little bit more. Okay, so that's all you got to do. No stress, no fuss. Now, it's not in Applications folder. It's in a folder in Applications called Utilities. So click the person's face, go to Applications, look for the Utilities, begins with the letter U. And in Utilities, you'll find a bunch of other apps that are alphabetized. And Terminal, it looks like the Matrix, and it's under T. So just go to Application Utilities and then click on Terminal, and you'll be greeted with a black box with a blinking cursor, okay? That's Terminal. Now, if you are a Mac user, I personally don't use Terminal, to be honest. I use a different app called iTerm, but it's basically the same, okay? So don't worry about me. You just go ahead and use Terminal. I'll use Terminal today so we all can feel like we're on the same, whatever. I think to change the, like, what we're trying to do. Okay, here we go. I'm trying to be like, Micah has all these cool names for his computer, so I'm trying to do the same thing there. So let's see, what is my host name? Gotcha. I'll remember that. I gotta change it back. I don't break anything too badly. let me go ahead. Let me change my host name. Change your host name to a girl's name, you know, it's Halloween time. Trapdoor. That work? Okay, let me see. Yeah, it worked. Look at that. Okay, cool. All right, cool. So let's go. So again, if you are a Mac user, you can keep the terminal in the dock by hitting Control click on it. It's that black box that says terminal that's not running, and then saying Options, keep in the dock, or right click, two-finger tap for some of you, keep in the dock. So then you got your terminal window and the terminal's up. Now, if you're a Linux person, you should know this by now, Linux person, but you can actually could just like go to the terminal app by hitting the Windows key on your keyboard, because you probably have a PC-related keyboard because you're a Linux person, and then just type the word terminal, okay? And it'll pop up the black box. It's pretty cool. And you can right-click on it and say add to your favorites. Now let's teach you some basic things about terminal. I know it looks really scary, but it's not, let's see. Let me see. Kind of like looks like that. Let's see if I can do this right. Let's see if we can get this going. Okay. This is going to take a second. Give me 1 minute. I just want to be like. Okay. Okay, I'm just saying, make my screen look like Micah's screen as much as possible here. Password. Oh man, what am I doing? One second. You know what? That's what happens when you try to move too fast. You make a mess. Almost done. Nothing to see here. Okay. Let's see if this works. Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay, don't worry about it. All right, I was trying to be all cool and make my thing look exactly like the book, but it's gonna take too long and I had to time box it. It's only so long y'all are gonna listen to me stare at me, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, if you type a bunch of stuff in terminal, you can clean it up by typing the word clear, right? So I'm just gonna I'll switch back and forth between the terminal and window and the book. And so that's what the book is telling us here. It's just telling us, and you can practice at home. If you're on a PC, it should be in your Ubuntu. If you're on a Mac, it should be in your terminal app, which is in applications, utilities. And if you just type the word clear and it'll clear the screen, you can type the word exit and it'll close the terminal app, okay? And here's an example of that. I'm gonna go into my terminal, go to this terminal window. And you can see, like, I'm in Micah's computer called Trapdoor, and I can be like, hello, blah, 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 right? Don't worry, nothing bad will happen. You won't break your machine, right? And look, it's like, hello, doesn't know what I'm doing. Like, what are you talking about, right? And, you know, if you type the word clear, it will clear the screen. See that? So everything I wrote is not there anymore. So if I'm just like hitting enter a bunch of times, if I type the word clear, it clears the screen. And if I type the word exit, boom. Oh wait, what did I do? Okay. If I type the word exit, it should just close the screen. Okay. Sorry about that. I had some stuff going on. So let's go back to the book. Simple enough terminal, right? So look, you're a terminal superstar now. You know how to write things that don't do anything. You know how to clear them, right? Now it explains to you that you have a home folder. That home folder is represented by a tilde. So you could either, when you start inside terminal, you open it up, you're actually in your home folder, right? And if you want, you can type print working directory. And when you type print working directory or pwd, it's a command. And if you don't understand this, it makes more sense later, but most commands are pretty obvious. And, you know, I'm in my machine called Trapdoor because I'm cool, like Micah F Lee. And if I start terminal, I'll be in this blinking cursor and I want to see where I am. I just type pwd for print working directory, and it tells you you are in the users folder if you're on a Linux or a Mac, and this is your username, right? And then it tells me if I type ls -a, I'll see all the stuff that's in this folder, you know? And I'm gonna probably like a little bit. And yeah, and you'll get in there, you'll get all the stuff that you can like, you'll see all the stuff that's in your terminal folder. So if you're in terminal now, I'd like you to type that, and I'll follow, I'll do the same thing so you can follow along. So if I understand it, this can be a little confusing first time, it can be intimidating. You see like this matrix looking thing blinking, staring at you. But the water's fine, jump in, we're all friends here, everything's cool, nothing to see, no problems, no stress, you know. Yeah, you'll be good. You'll be totally fine. Let me just get this going. Let me see, let me move this into, you know. Cool. Yeah, that should go. Me up a little bit. Because I didn't know I was gonna have company. My folders are messy. No. Oop, do that again. That looks a lot cleaner. I like that. Nice and neat. You know, if you're gonna have your friends over looking in your folders, nice and neat, you know? Keep it clean. Keep it classy, you know? Oh, that's so pretty. Oh, love it. Okay. All right. So let's go over some of what we learned so far. You can type the word clear and it clears out your terminal window. You can type ls, which is a list, right? And you can give it an extra command to check for hidden files. Very exciting, right? You can type ls minus a or ls minus all, and we'll see everything. And again, this is how we explore and look around the command line. And this is a very important skill to have. So that's how we're going to spend time on it. All right. Let me share again my window. Okay. So here I am. When I open up terminal, I'm in my window. And if I type ls, and in the book it says like you won't see anything because there's probably nothing in here. Well, you know, I've been working in here for a little bit. So you can see some stuff, right? Boom, right? But hit clear and you can clear it. But if you hit LSA, you'll also see like hidden files, which is good, you know? And who knows what kind of weird hidden file that has, right? But let me make a directory that it's like a fake user directory, fake user, okay? And then let me go in there and kind of like give you a better idea. And then let me just make some hidden files like ID, you know, and like high secret, you know, and maybe like nothing to see here. Okay. So anyway, and when you go in and you type ls according to the book, you'll see nothing because there's nothing here, right? If you type ls minus all, you'll see all these hidden files that should be there. Sorry, or A, which is the abbreviation for all, right? To know that what version of shell I'm rocking. So anyway, you'll see that now I see these like hidden files. Hide me, not a secret, nothing to see here. A lot of the hidden files you'll notice begin with a period. That kind of tells your system like don't show me or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So that's where we are. Now we already know that we can type the word clear as I've been doing, and we'll clear the screen. We also know that I can type the word pwd, print working directory, and I can see the path of the paths. So the more I lean to the right, you know, and I can see where I am. And this is the terminal window. It's fun. It's exciting. Feel like you're in the matrix. You know, okay, so now I'm going to go back to sharing the book. I'm not sure how I can like. Will this work? No, I don't think so. Nope, I have to manually do it. No problem. Let's go back to sharing where we were. So isn't this fun? Is this exciting? Don't you feel like, you know, like you're like hacker elite? You know what I'm saying? Yo, Maddox, sometimes you gotta update some VMs, you know? So props to you, Maddox. Appreciate you for joining. So that's where your VM update is. That's how it be sometimes. Okay? All right, but you're listening to the smooth sounds of crypto harmony. If you're out there cruising through your file system, updating to virtual machines, don't you worry. Kick back. Now, you can also do AL, and that's kind of for the format being long. And you'll notice when I made the list, Micah has some more files here than I do, so I should probably just make some big files. Quickly make some files, big files to match the book. This is the last thing I was doing yesterday, but I didn't really do it. Need some folders. The book has. Downloads. Library. I guess he's like trying to show you a Mac. Basically, it looks like movies, music. What else has he got? Pictures in public. Okay, that's not. Okay, great. So in the book, you'll see that if you type ls minus al, which is you're using the list command ls, but you want to pass it some, additional flavor. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, yo, list command, give me a, which is everything. Give me it all. I want it all. And then give me it long. I don't want it short. You know what I'm saying? So this is what that looks like. We go to share and we go to our screen and we go to terminal. Here we're using the commands we've learned. We know that pwd is create working directory. I can see where I am. So now I can see where I am. I can take a look around with ls, that's list short, right? Now everything's kind of punched up there. It only shows me a few files. So I know I can do ls minus a and it shows me everything, including hidden files, right? Now, I also know that I could do ls minus a, and now we add an L for list long. So we're listing everything with the ls command. We're giving me everything. But then I'm also saying, give me the long format. And with the long format, I get to see, boom, the permissions on the files, the dates they were created. I made all these files just now. They're not real, but that's okay. Directories too, but shh, don't tell nobody. So here, you'll get to see like a different format of that. And this is how terminal works. Terminals aren't friendly. Terminals not to be scared of. Terminals chill. It's just like a text adventure. You ever play a video game with a first-person shooter? That's what your graphical user interface is. Clicking on a mouse and dragging things around. But now you're using like your computer's computer. Now you don't need that. Now you're in this world. You can move around, you can go into folders, you can go out of folders. It's like having a giant file cabinet in front of you. You can complete control, and it looks cool. So that's the beauty of the terminal. Let's get back to the book. Back to the book. Woo! Now the first column of the output is the type of file. That's what Mike is telling us here. And if it's a directory, or which is some kind of folder in our file cabinet, or is it a file or some kind of actual app or something, right? So when we look around this world that we're in the matrix here, that's known as terminal, you'll notice that things that are directories, they begin with the letter D. See that? That D stands for directory. So we know that this desktop thing is a directory because it begins with a D. See that? And this documents thing, it's a directory because it begins with a D. It's not just a regular file. This thing here, it's a regular file. It doesn't begin with a D, it has a minus there. So now when we look out into this matrix, we look out with our ls command to list, and we use the -L, we can list long, and we can begin to tell what's folders and what's not. What are files in our tools or apps, and what's folders. And then you can go into those folders, you come out of those folders. Isn't that exciting? All because we know to look for that little D right there, okay? Now, it says the third and fourth column tells you who owns it. Oh, it does mention here, the second column represents the number of links in the file, which isn't relevant for the purpose of this book. Yeah, word, that's true. Okay, But see here how it says, I'm not even gonna get into it because he says don't. Okay, no problem. Does he talk about permissions? No, he does. He says, as well as the file's permissions. But he just like throws that out there. You'll notice that there's some other stuff after the D. There's an R, which means that you can read. You as yourself, you have access to read this file. And remember, Micah taught us last time. If I type the command, who am I, all is one word, who, WHOIAM, I can see who I am. And it tells me, it customizes this display based on who I am. And it says, if you can see an R here, you can read this. If you see a W here, you can write to it, right? So you not only can like see it, open it, look at it, but you can manipulate it, change it, make your own edits. And if I see an X here, I can execute it, which is important when it's an actual folder. It means I can open it. If it's a file, that's a program, I can run it. And that's what that RWX. Now, you'll see it over and over again because the first set is for you, Micah, in this case. The second time you see it here is for the staff. So Micah can read and write and execute this public folder. The staff can only read it and execute it, but they can't write to it. It's not their folder, right? And then it says the world. People who are not Micah, not the staff, but everyone else, that's the next three. And so you don't really want a lot of world writable or readable file, but let's, whatever. This isn't that conversation, so let's keep moving. Then Micah says that we see the date here. We see the date, and that's cool, right? And we can see again, this is the user and the group that's affiliated with that file. The user is the person that is the owner of the file, and the group is usually like which group is cool to use the file or mess with that file, right? And Micah says that in Linux, all users are allowed to use a command called sudo, right? If they're in the sudo group. So again, you can group people, give larger commands of things to individual human beings, you know what I'm saying? Like, who has access to get past this yellow caution ribbon? Well, the press group, right? Who has access to your house? You. You might include like, you know, essential services like paramedics and fire department in that group, right? So, you know, just you can extend permissions and things to larger groups. The fifth column is the size, and it tells us that the size here, right, is in bytes. And he talks about his ZCH history, and that's 2,773 bytes. Yeah. That's a lot of chewing, man. That's a little bit of byte humor. Did you like that? Was that funny? I thought it was. I thought it was hilarious. Okay. All right. So, and you see that 273 is in this column, and that's in bytes. Now, most people don't think in bytes, so you can actually have it list things to you in a way where you can see it in a human readable format. And that's, you add an H for human, and it shows you things in a more human readable way, which means instead of you showing bytes, it might say megabytes or gigs or terabytes, the way that we actually think as humans, okay? Now, here we see that there's a list for a list of files inside code, hacks, leaks, and revelations. And he's showing you how to access that. You go to ls -LA, you go into a folder called code, and then in there you want to list the folder hacks, leaks, and revelations. And that's how you can see a listing of files in a folder other than the one you're in. So even though you're here, we were physically here, we can look out into other spaces that we're not actually in. PWD stands for print the working directory. That's the directory you're in. But you can look out into all the folders and other areas outside of where you're in, and you can still do that. You just have to write the path. Okay? And that's what Mike is showing us here. And let's see what's going on. Now, I think, well, here Micah explains the difference between what we would call a relative path and an absolute path. The path that you're in is relative to the position you're in. That's why it's a relative path. So if I'm already in a folder called users M Mitchell, right? and I'm already in my fake user folder, right? And I want to get to a folder called, more stuff, right? I just go more stuff. More stuff is right in front of me. It's relative to where I am. More stuff is right here. In the file cabinet that I'm in, I'm already in the users folder. And in the users folder, there are a bunch of other folders, and fake users one of them, no problem. I'm already in there. And if I want to get to more stuff, it's just right one folder away. It's right there I am. It's relative to my place. It's right there. Now, the absolute path is much longer. That's a hint that you're looking at an absolute path, because they're always going to be longer. They include the entire path from the beginning of this computer's root folder to where I want to go. From the opening of the file cabinet, it's the entire path to this particular folder from that. That's the absolute path. And the difference is it always begins with a forward slash. Always begins with a slash, okay? So here's an example of that. Let me just really make this more stuff folder, right? And then inside more stuff, I'll put like, code, and then let me make it code. What was meant to say that? Hacks, leaks, and revelations, no problem. I'll make a thing called hacks, leaks, and revelations. Okay. So let's take a look at that, okay? Just to kind of like hammer it in, just to like bring it home, because this again needs to be something you're comfortable with, because when we're doing some serious leaks, investigations, and we're jumping into folders and all this other stuff in systems, we need to know how to get around. You got to know how to swim, right? So we teach you how to swim in the matrix, okay? So we're going to share. We're going to go back into terminal. Here we go. Okay, I'm in my fake user folder. Again, let's go through everything that we know. We know that pwd is print working directory. It shows us the path to where we are. We know that who am I tells us our username. That's who are you? Who am I? Okay, now we also know that if we type ls, we'll list short everything that's in our folder, right? We also know that when we do ls -a, we'll see everything including hidden files and directories, okay? Now, if I don't know what the file and what the folder, because I don't have it color coded in any way, right? But you could do that beyond this conversation. I can say AL, and now I'm listing all things, but I want to see it the long way, including some additional information. Boom. Now I'm looking at everything listed a long way, and I want to get to a folder called more stuff. What's the path? What's the way to write that? How do I know how to get to more stuff? Well, I see more stuff is right here. So I could say change directory or CD more stuff. See that? And if I change directory more stuff, there's no slash in front of it. It just begins with the letter M for more. I'm in the more stuff folder. How do I know that? Print working directory, you're in more stuff. Isn't that cool? I'm CD, I'm going to go deeper in. Now let's say I want to come back out. How do I get back out again? Right? I'm inside more stuff. I want to go back out to my fake user folder. What you got to do is say change the directory to ... And ... will take you back out. So that's a little dance. You want to do a dance where you're taking a step back out, ... You want to take a step back into more stuff, boom, more stuff. You want to take a step back out, ... You want to go back in, more stuff. Oh, you can't stop or step back. Look at that. Now we're line dancing. Now we're doing the electric slide in the matrix. We're swimming through the terminal. Isn't that fun? Isn't that comfortable? Nothing to worry about. You get lost, PWD. Where am I? Print working directory. It's like looking at a map. It's like checking out your GPS. Do you feel this? Are you living this? Are you loving this? Nice and smooth. No problems, no issues here. Everything's fine, okay? So, another thing that Micah tells us in the book is that there's absolute paths, right? What's the absolute path for more stuff? Well, if I go into more stuff and I type PWD, that's the absolute path right here. This, I'm actually right here highlighted that, right? And I can see it. Absolute path is the full path. It's the longer thing. So I could actually change directory to this, right? And guess what? I'm in the same place. I'm in the same place. That's the absolute path. So you can see it's not relative to any position, no matter where you are in this system. That's how I get to the more stuff folder. And that's the real path, absolutely. You know what I'm saying? That's what we call the absolute path. Absolutely in your face, you know what I'm saying? Okay? So We just went through it. Isn't that fun? Isn't that smooth? Isn't that cool? Okay. These are the hacker basics. But you got to brush up on your foundation if you want to be hacker elite 1337. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So now Micah tells us that um, we already did the change directory thing. Okay. Yeah, we're going to skip over that. Now we're going to talk about using the help argument. Okay. Now, these things that we're typing, it's like when you chat GPT, you're having a conversation. They're called commands. You're commanding the system to do what you want it to do, right? So if I type CD, I'm like a magician. I'm like Harry Potter up in here. And I'm like CD, boom, right? I'm like a wizard, like Gandalf up in here. Bow, bow, CD, pow. You know what I'm saying, right? So I command you to change the directory. Look at that. I command you to change the directory to, whatever, fake user, okay? I command you, and it does, like a genie, what I want. Doesn't that feel cool? Isn't that awesome? Well, those are commands, but let's say you're confused about how to use a command. There's a command called unzip, right? And when I type unzip, I get all this. I'm like, I don't know how to use unzip. I need help. I need help. Even though I'm the wizard, even though I'm talking to the genie, even though this thing is listening to me and my wishes, like boom, there it's commands. Well, I might need some extra help, and that's why I use the minus help, right? And minus help often gives you some additional information. Okay? So you can do minus help, and it'll give you some additional information. Now, if I do unzip and I type minus help, it gives me this little cheat sheet on how unzip works. And it tells me you're using unzip version 6, 2009 from InfoZip. It's maintained by C. What's up, C? And I can send bug reports to this website. And it just gives me like, do you remember how we did those -L and -A? Well, it looks like unzip also has its own little, we call it flags that I can throw in there, These are little modifiers, little, operators, little things we can do, little flavor. And we can drop that in there, right? And so I can do that, and unzip will understand them. Now, what Micah tells us is sometimes this little cheat sheet is not enough. Sometimes we don't really understand at all how to use the command. We're new, we're a level 1 wizard. We're not really on the Gandalf level yet, right? So then what we do is we could use the manual. We could read the manual, Sometimes you got to read the book. And that's where, some people say, like, read the FF, you know what I'm saying? Now, I never say that to people, you know what I'm saying? We just read the funky manual, right? Because it's like a Prince and the Revolution type manual, Get funky, okay? So, anyway, so what you want to do to read a manual is you type man, like, oh, man, you know what I'm saying? Or as they say in Eastern Parkway, mon. Wagwan man, and you're like, what is going on, mom? Manual, okay? And you can type man, and I can be like, man, unzip. And this actually shows me a book, the book for the unzip spell, basically, the book for the unzip command. It gets deep into the trenches, into this unzip life. It just helps me better understand what it is. And you start by reading that name, unzip. And what does it do? It lists, it tests, and extracts compressed files into a zip archive. Okay, cool. Description, unzip will list, test, or extract files from a zip archive, commonly found on an MS-DOS system. The default behavior with no options is to extract into the current directory and subdirectories below, but all files will be specified zip archives, a companion program called Zip, created by Zip Archives, and just give me a whole description here. If I go hit down arrow, there's more. I can flip through all this book. Look at this. It's so much to read. Isn't this exciting? Now, let's say I want to get back to terminal. I'm done. I feel like I'm trapped in this manual. I'm stuck. How do I get out? Don't panic. Take it easy. You know what I'm saying? You got to take it easy. Tranquilo. You know what I'm saying? Just chill. Just hit Q to quit. Like athletic coach might be like, there's no quitters here. Well, guess what? in geek land, there's a lot of quitters. Hit Q to quit all day. Okay. So again, you hit the manual of any command, man ls. Oh, our friend ls. It explains that ls is how I list directory contents. It explains that these are all the different things that can pass to it with the minus. It explains that for each operand that names a file or a type other than a directory, ls displays its name as well as any requested associated information. Thanks, ls. And when I'm done with this, I hit Q to quit. Boom. So get used to using ls manage minus help and get the little extra cheat sheet. But the cheat sheet is not enough. Man ls. Oh man, ls. How do I use you, right? Go through it. And when you want to get out of here, just hit the Q key. Look at that. Look at that. You're swimming through the matrix. Nothing to be worried about. Everything's cool. Everything's great. And that's where Micah wants us to know. He wants us to let us understand how to use terminal, because the terminal is the key. You know, we gotta learn a new way to move around if we're gonna dig through these leaks. Okay. Now, Micah has some tips for navigating the terminal. Okay. Micah says, let me pull them up. Micah says, clean this. This section introduces ways to make working on the command line more convenient and efficient, right? And one thing that he teaches you is how to enter commands with the tab completion, you know. Now, a lot of different shells, which are different things that you would run in, like styles of taking commands, different, almost dialects of taking commands. They might use what they call tab completion. And that saves you a lot of time, because basically what it'll do is it also prevents you from making mistakes as a human being. You enter the first few letters of the command you want to type or the path you want to get to, and then when you hit the tab key, it just finishes for you. Your shell will just fill in the rest if possible, right? And then Micah gives this example, right? In terminal, Micah says enter hex D and press tab, and it'll automatically fill in the rest of a hex dump command, right? So if you go to terminate that hex, E-H-E-X, and you type D, and then you hit the tab key, it's like, oh, maybe you mean hex dump, right? So this saves you having to type the whole D-U-M-P part. Now, it also works for the path. If you want to try to get to a folder called temp, you might do, you might type ls, so list, and then you type /tm, and then you hit tab, and it's like, oh, maybe you mean temp. So again, you can enter ls, and then you can do /tm, and then before you finish it, tab, it'll finish the rest, right? Now, let's say it doesn't exactly know where you want to go. It can actually give you some options. So if you enter only the first few couple of letters of a command or a path, and there's others you can choose from, it just shows you what the other ones are. So I can type ls, the little squiggly line, the tilde /do, and it's like, oh, do you mean document or do you mean downloads? And then once I give it a little bit more information, I hit tab again, and it finishes. It's like AI, isn't that great? And so, as we've been downloading the Blue leak, which is something you should be doing, this is important for us how we navigate around the Blue leak information. Okay, so I'm just gonna I know we're a little bit over time. I'm gonna show you this whole tab completion thing, and then I'm gonna explain where we get the Blue leak from, in case you missed previous episodes. And then we're gonna wrap for today. But I hope that you feel more comfortable living inside terminal. I hope you understand as a Windows user that you can use a Windows subsystem for Linux to get Ubuntu installed. As a Mac user, as a Linux user, you know that you've always had this, and now you're more comfortable with it. Maybe you've learned something new, okay? So, just gonna show you one last time some terminal stuff. That's what Micah wanted us to do. That's why he wrote it in the book. He wouldn't have wrote it in the book if he didn't want us to get in there. So, look, we're in here, okay? Now, again, if I type, who am I? Who am I? I see my username. I can see who I am. If I type pwd, print working directory, that's where am I? I'm in a folder called Mitchell, on a folder called fake user. If I take a look around, ls, so they're short, right? I see all the files around me. If I type ls -a, I see the files plus everything. A is for all, even hidden files begin with dots. Like nothing to see here, not a secret. I get to hide me. I get to see all the secret files, right? Now, if I type ls minus al, I see a listing that's longer with additional information. It gives me time, date, permissions, who owns the file. If it begins with a little d, I can tell it's a directory. Now, if the file begins with a little d and it's a directory, how do I get inside that directory? How do I get inside that folder? I just type change the directory to that folder. So I'll just go inside movies, right? But if I want to just be cool about it, I can just type MOV, and look what happens when I hit tab. Boom, it finishes typing for me. And that is tab completion. You know, Micah says if we type HEX, if I type tab, boom, it knows that I maybe want to write the hex dump command, right? Ooh, don't do hex dump. If I do a directory, right? Let's say I type a directory like CD and I type DO, right? And I hit tab, nothing happened. I tab again and it says, do you want documents or downloads? It's trying to help me autocomplete. It's like, I know that they both begin with capital D and M and O. That's all, so it's gotta be one of those two. Which one do you want? And if I just give it the C and then I tab now, it'll give me documents. If I had given it the DOW and hit tab, it gives me downloads. If I give it just DO and hit tab twice, boom, boom, it's like maybe you want documents down, tell me what you want. That's how autocomplete works. It'll save you a lot of time. And if you end up to, you know, if I was doing typos all day, like downlads, don't do downlads, right? Well, if I use a tab complete, that would never happen because it's always going to give me the place where I want to go. Now, let's say I typed something wrong, like downlads, and I want to go to the front of the line. On my Mac, I can have Control A because A-holes skip lines. A-holes are the ones that skip the line. So Control A will take you to the front of the line. Now I'm back in the front. I don't have to go, you know, hit arrow all the way over here. And if I want to get to the end of the line, Control E will take me to the end of the line. So I know how to jump around the line. So if I was looking at a long path, maybe I was looking at the absolute path. I went to downloads, a directory to download, and I list nothing in here. I look at the print working directory, that's the absolute path. If I was working with this long path, and I was typing it in, change directory to this long path, and I realized that I messed up, and I didn't want to go to, you know, users, right? I wanted to get to users. Instead of going all the way to the front, I can hit Control A, like an A-hole, skip to the front of the line, and just go in and change what I need to change. I hit Control E, I get to the end of the line, and boom. See that? That's great. And that's what we want to learn. How to move around, how to use tab completion, how to have commands written. We're swimming, we're moving, we're looking. This is our space, we're comfortable here. This is the shell, right? Now we're just gonna go over how to download those leaks. Let's do it, okay? Now you don't have to worry if you live in the US about these leaks because they've basically been over publicized and overshared and overwritten about, and they're okay accessing these leaks, okay? So what Micah tells us to do is to get our hard drive, get a nice secure hard drive. We recommend the ADA 800 SE hard drive. It was the cheapest solid state hard drive I could find. It probably set you back somewhere from 60 to $100, depending on where you find it, okay? So get this hard drive, boom, the ADA 800 SE solid state drive. It's got some dust proofing, some waterproofing. You'll format that and encrypt it so it's password protected, okay? You'll open up your browser and you'll go to the DDoS secrets, right? The distributed denial of secrets website, right? And that's ddosssecrets.com, right? So we can go to that site and I'll show you what that looks like. That in the chat. Put some respect on that name. And if we were to visit this on our website, it would look like this. Distributed Denial of Secrets, which is a journalist nonprofit organization, okay? And it has popular releases here. And we see Blue Leaks is like number 2 on the popular releases. So we can go right into Blue Leaks by clicking here, or we can type in search Blue Leaks, okay? When we search for Blue Leaks, we just go to the pages that match Blue Leaks, we can just go to Blue Leaks, okay? Or from the front page, we can just click on Blue Leaks. And it tells us that Blue Leaks sometimes referred to as hashtag Blue Leaks, is a 269 gigabytes of internal US law enforcement data that was obtained by the Hacktivism Collective Anonymous and released on June 19, 2020. The data, internal intelligence bulletins, emails, reports, was produced between August 1996 and June 2020 by more than 200 law enforcement agencies. Okay, and that's what's in the Blue Leaks leak. Now, how do I get access to this? Well, Micah recommends that we get a BitTorrent program and recommends the program Transmission. Okay, so we are going to go to Transmission so we can download this using something called BitTorrent technology. Okay, so again, we go to Transmission, bt.com. Okay, we share that on the screen. Transmission, bt.com. You see that? And that takes you to this website. You'll download this program called Transmission and install it. Transmission is what allows you to fast and easy, and it's free on Windows, Macs, and Linux to grab and BitTorrents. Okay. Now, once you have Transmission installed on your machine, you can go back to the Blue Leaks page, right? You can go back here and you can see here that they have information on this column, including a download, but they have a magnet link, and we're going to click on the magnet link. And when you click on this magnet link and you have Transmission installed, you'll open Transmission and start downloading this program. The BitTorrent technology will use your internet to pull down this program. It's about 300 gigs, and it'll probably take you a couple of days to download. So it'll probably take you like 3 days, maybe 4 days. I don't know, good speed connection. Now, you're not going to download them into your computer. You're going to download them onto your external hard drive here. As in our example, our ADATA 800 SE, okay? Because the book says that we needed to be able to download like a terabyte of data, so we bought that thing, okay? And that's how we get Blue Leaks, because we're working up every episode to where we're going inside the leaks, investigating inside the leaks. We need to know how to move around. We need to know how to check inside folders. We need to know how to check what's going on. Okay? If that makes sense. Let's see what's going on in that chat. Free, yes, fire. Oh yeah, oh fire, not free. Oh yeah, fire. Fire is much cooler than free. Yeah, fire gets an air horn. All right, so listen. One last thing I want to share with you, okay, is that there is a Crypto Harlem live event happening soon, okay? So this is not a test. It's not a test. There's a Crypto Harlem live event happening soon. You can go to cryptoharlem.com. You can learn more about it soon. But here's the heads up. It's going to be on November 7th, most likely, but it could be November 6th. November 6th or 7th in Harlem. And there's a Crypto Harlem event happening soon, live, direct in New York City. Okay, so we're going to put more information about that on the Discord and more information about that on the website. The website is cryptoharlem.com. Okay, so let's just going to share that out on your screens. Again, it's cryptoharlem.com. So you can check that out, okay? And if you want to join the Discord, you scroll down. Yes, we're going to teach you to become the hacktivist. Yes, people talk about us. You know what I'm saying? We got a little bit of shine here and there, okay? Scroll down to the bottom. When you get to the bottom of the page, you'll find these links. The Discord link is this link here. It's the one that looks kind of like a video game controller, okay? So that's your Discord. That one right there. Boom, that's Discord. Put a border on that. Border, 10 pixel, olive, red. Boom. That should move that up a little bit. Never give it to me? Oh, that's the one right there. That's the element I was looking for. Boom. That should make it. Oh, I see. Oh, I went too low. I need to go this one. Oh. The Dom, man. There we go. That right there. That's the Discord logo. Okay, so that's the one you want, all right? So when you're on the website, look for that thing, click on it, join Discord, and then you can hang out with us between Saturdays, okay? It's fun. Well, this has been your boy, Matt, walking you through the amazing book, Hacks, Leaks, and Revelations by Micah F Lee on No Starch Publishing, No Starch Press. And so far, so good. It's been a pretty exciting read, you know what I'm saying? Like, I learned a lot. It's really cool. And we're taking you through page by page. We're taking you through chapter by chapter, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't you worry. You don't have to be technical. I hope you're understanding what we're talking about. Ask questions in the chat. We're cool. We're here for it. Ask questions in the whispers. Ask questions in the Harlem site, you know what I'm saying? All right, so there's one last thing. One last thing. Just want to do a quick roll call, okay? Quick roll call, put hands together, because what are we without you, you know what I'm saying? So this one goes out to you, and when I say you, I mean 00 Rihanna, 00 Rihanna, you know what I'm saying? Take a bow, 00 Rihanna. You know what I'm saying? When I say you, I mean 01 Ella, take a bow, 01 Ella, you know what I'm saying? 7B bullet, you know what I'm saying? 7B LLET, you know what I'm saying? Like a bullet, like ballet, let's go. HBDES, you know what I'm saying? H-hives. You know? Like Hades, you know what I'm saying? Alicidra, Commander Rue. Appreciate you. Put some respect on this capital dances with burrito. Thank you, burrito. Grab Snap, Facing Pencer, thanks for rocking with us through this whole thing. Lurks, LUR with the XX, thank you. Yo, Maddox 12, hope you got those working machines listening to you, lined up and ready to go, you know. Hypervisors, you know what I'm saying, flexing. Mark Zinks, thanks for being there. And the V to the M to the Y to the K, 5 mics. V mics, appreciate you. Okay, that's that, bro. I'll see you up in the Discord, or I'll see you up on the internet, or I'll see you up on wherever the Harlem be at. Peace, y'all. Encrypt, encrypt, encrypt. Stay secure, stay safe, and all that good stuff. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of stuff going on in the world right now, and the world needs us. Those with the strong keyboard. You know what I'm saying? Get your keyboard hand strong. The world needs us. Right now more than ever, you know what I'm saying? Have the power of millions with a couple of keystrokes. So we're gonna teach you how to do that. Level you up from shooting smoke out your fingers to straight up fireballs, okay? We got you. All right, see you on the other side. Peace.